Good morning, welcome in to twitch.tv/IceCreamUppers. My name is Grim D. And for the first time today, I'm going to say I'm joined by Milo and Bib. I'll read Bib.
Yeah. Hello, Graham. Hello, Milo. How are we both doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. If you've been here previously, basically my internet craps itself whenever it does anyway. So if you are listening to this on podcast services, if you are watching this on YouTube, there's a good chance that by the end of this, hopefully it's seamless, but Bibby might have to stitch 12,000 episodes together by the time we get to the end of this podcast. But we'll see. We'll see.
Really looking forward to it, Graham.
It's going to be a fun time. Great times. Great times. So yeah, we are Ice Cream Uppers. If you don't know who we are, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We're Ice Cream Uppers. This is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. We are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uppers, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. And the time is 11:30, so that's 10 a.m.-ish, if you ask me. Nice. Perfect.
Confirmed.
Love it. Love it. I mean, we didn't bring you a stream yesterday, so, you know, we're doing studio stuff. But we did bring you a 10 a.m.-ish stream on Monday as well, so we're doing okay at the moment. Nice. You love to see it. Anyway, we're live for the next hour or so to bring you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest the biggest breasts from the games industry.
Don't be a tick, Graham.
Okay, the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We'll give you our thoughts and impressions, but we want to hear your thoughts and impressions, and then your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the thing works. So please do feel free to get involved over the next hour or so. And it's important that you do, because the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video that does go out on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon Music and Google Play. And in those places, over 200,000 people have watched and listened to this bad boy on demand. Nice. And yes, I did nail it. Yes, this is the first time for everything. Let's go. It's because I looked at my sheet. I've changed the sheet, so it now says Amazon. It says iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and Amazon Music, although I actually say it in a different order because...
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll read from the sheet. On-demand listeners get to pause, rewind, and fast forward, but they don't get to add to the on-air conversation. So if you're watching on Twitch, make sure you say, hello.
Hello.
There we go. Nice. In chat.
There you go. There's the real deal right there.
You love to see it. Before we jump into the news, though, as always, we have a couple of talking points, a couple of things to mention. Don't forget that we are partnered with Astro. !Astro in the chat. If you want to buy yourself any Astro headsets, you can use our discount code, save yourself 10%, and support the channel at the same time. #ad. I don't know if I have to say that, you know, with the stupid new regulations for advertising stuff, but #ad. Same thing when it comes to Logitech G, Logitech Blue microphones, whatever that's. I mean, Logitech G, got a new wireless keyboard. I can wave it around and stuff. It's also in American, so you know that. Yeah, so yeah, I have a new keyboard from Logitech G915 TKL. But if you look at the number 2 key, it's got an @ on it rather than speech marks. It's because I've got an American keyboard. So that's not confusing at all. Fucking wonderful keyboard, though. God damn. The Sky Gods demand a sacrifice. Yes, the internet has gone down twice recording the stream already. This is great. It's great. Did someone say breasts? No. No. Let me check my memories. Sorry. Terribly sorry. Welcome in, Phony. I'll read.
Rightfully sorry.
So yes, don't forget !Astro if you want to get any Astro items. You can use our codes. Same thing with !GT Omega. We do have GT Omega chairs. It's a very nice GT Omega chair you've got behind you there, babe.
It's fantastic, Graham. Oh, wait. This side's got the logo on it. Yes, it's fantastically comfortable, Graham. On my big fat ass. Holds it perfectly.
Lovely. And finally, remember that anyone that is a sub to this channel does get entered into the loot drop. The first Monday of every month, we give away a prize to a subscriber. This month, Sam won a copy of WWE 2K for the PlayStation, but doesn't have a PlayStation. So we swapped it out for one of these beautiful ICU blackout baseball caps. Do we know, did he pick flat peak or curve peak?
Let me check my DMs again. Because I did send him a message back this morning, and he wants the flat peak. What a fucking guy! I've always liked Sam. I've always liked him. Big fan of his.
Imagine that. Oh, imagine being a winner and a loser at the same time. Ooh. GG, Sam. So yeah, Sam didn't want the game, but he does want a hat, so we'll send that out to him. And we're also chatting with Batman Dan, so how we can get him his copy of the game, because I was looking at it yesterday. So Batman Dan, for those that don't know, the loot drop, we draw it on the first Monday of the month. If you're a sub on the first Monday of the month, we just throw your name into the hat, whether you volunteer into it or not. It doesn't matter if you've paid for the sub, someone else has paid for it, you've used a Prime, whatever. Everyone gets thrown in, equal chance. And Batman Dan won last month, and he's asked for a copy of Star Wars Jedi Survivor for the Xbox. But you can't gift games as pre-orders on Xbox. And then I was looking into it. There is pre-order bonuses, though. There's like some Obi-Wan Kenobi skins. So I messaged him yesterday saying, do you want us to get you this game? And if you do you want it pre-ordering? Because if you do, either you buy it and we'll give you cash for it, kind of thing, or we'll buy some Xbox credit and get you $70 worth of credit so you can buy the game. Because that way you get the pre-order skins as well. So he hasn't come back. But we'll let you know. So if you're interested in winning stuff, just if you've got a Prime, throw it down. That way, every month that you're in, you will be in the draw. And in theory, you could get back-to-back wins. I mean, highly unlikely, but you could do a Spike or a Gagad or whatever and win a couple of wins over the course of a chunk of time. Or you could just do a pirate and then, once in every 76 bajillion years, you get something. But either way, it's a nice way of us giving back to the community.
Yeah.
For now, though, we are here to talk about video game news. Mr. Bibb.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the Bungie stuff that's been going on?
I am not a part of the Destiny community. Even though I have played the game, it's not a community that I find myself heavily invested. However, I do follow people who are. And this is where it's kind of got my attention. I didn't know the full ins and outs of it, but obviously concerning the article that we're going to be bringing up today, we now have the... I'd say about 80% of the details. So it's one of those we're still yet to find out everything, but we can kind of base an argument around what we've seen so far.
Nice. So if you haven't seen this, we'll go through the article and then we'll give you all of the backstory on it. But the article is from Tom Phillips at Eurogamer. It says Bungie claims, quote, irrefutable evidence that a trusted Destiny community member has leaked secrets. So there's a whole conversation about it that's been going backwards and forwards. We'll go through that article and bring you up to speed. After that, we will talk about Ubisoft will show off the future of the Division franchise on Thursday. So if you're a fan of the Division 2, maybe you've lost your way, maybe you want to see where the future of that brand is going, well, we'll go through that. It includes the Division 2, Division Heartland, and the Division Resurgence. After that, we'll talk about Monster Hunter getting its own Pokemon Go game. Baby's well hyped. Then we'll talk about Nintendo winning a legal battle against a website operator hosting pirated games. And the days of PS5 scalping is over. Apparently. There you go. So yeah, that's the crack. For now, though, we'll jump into the first story. Maybe just give you a little bit of a recap. We'll give you the full recap as we go once we've gone through this. But Bungie claims irrefutable evidence trusted Destiny community member leaked secrets. Quote, this is our final communication, says the tagline. So Bungie has tried to draw a line under the recent controversy surrounding a Destiny 2 community member accused of leaking upcoming game details. In a fresh statement shared via Twitter, the studio said it had, quote, irrefutable evidence, end quote, including, quote, video recordings, verified messages, and images, end quote, regarding an individual who's leaked privileged information shared over the course of multiple years. The first issue came to light last week when Bungie said it had suffered a breach of trust. After identifying a leaker amongst a small group of community members, it's sometimes invited to its studio to provide feedback on the game and share upcoming plans. It was this time that popular streamer, and I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm going to just go with it, Kevin Keegan was abruptly... that nice.
King Kev, don't accuse King Kev of getting involved in this.
So I'll go Equigan. Fuck it. Do you know? I won't go with something. I'll butcher it every time in a different way. Equigan was abruptly banned.
Nailed it.
Yeah, leading to dismay amongst fellow Destiny streamers and fans. For his part, Equigan said he did not leak anything. End quote. In a string of messages posted to Twitter. Quote: people are quick to attack. Please go back to your miserable lives. End quote. Yesterday, Kevin Keegan issued further tweets, seemingly prompting Bungie's later... Just in case anyone from Kevin Keegan / Equigan's legal departments... Equigan? Is that it? Equigan? Kevin Keegan, nice. Kevin
Yeah,
Keegan
phone is phonetic tat out for you.
nice. Yeah, so Echoegan. So yesterday, that person issued further tweets seemingly prompting Bungie's latest response. Quote, all I know is that a company made a huge mistake and I will clear my name, Echoegan wrote, sharing a screenshot of the nearly 20,000 hours he has spent streaming Destiny 2 before his ban took effect. Quote, people ask why did I quit? I am banned during Grandmaster season. I am forced to quit, and I have to let my audience know. People put 2 and 2 together from their statement. You basically wanted me to be witch hunted because you think I am guilty, end quote. Said Bungie today, quote, we are very disappointed to have learned this information and wish that things had gone differently with this person. We do not take these actions lightly, and we are confident in our decision. This is our final communication on the matter. End quote. So yeah, there we go. Kevin Keegan, or Echoegan, has been a Destiny community insider. He's been invited into Destiny's inner circle to get hands-on early access to exclusive information before everyone else, with the idea that as a community creator with over 20,000 hours streamed, that's a fucking lot of hours. 10,000 hours is like 400 days. So that's like nearly 3 years constant streaming this game. So this is a person that Bungie has recognized as being, if not an influencer, a key opinion leader or a strong voice or a representative within the community that deserves some form of respect and inclusion, and has done that. And Bungie now insists that this person has abused that trust and been leaking that information for a long period of time. Did they say years? They said that it's been happening? Or did that... something like multiple seasons.
Yeah, it was over multiple instances. I think it was. I think the wording was.
Or multiple years. That's what they've put. Privileged information shared over the course of multiple years is what they are alleging has been leaked. He, I say he. It could be she. I don't actually know. I say he because I've said Kevin Keegan. That's it. I've just got a dude with curly hair and short shorts in my head now, like full on 80s kits and stuff like that. But Kevin Keegan / Echoegan denies that and says that's not the case. Interesting story, because Bungie claim that they have irrefutable evidence. They basically say they have receipts. They've got video recordings, verified messages, and images, is the quote. If someone is refuting it so steadfast, but they have irrefutable evidence, is it time for Bungie to be sharing that? What are your thoughts on this whole situation, babe?
I don't know. I always think it's a very well. We're in the industry. We've worked on both sides. We currently work on both sides, so we can have kind of a balanced argument with this. But I don't think at any point Bungie should ever be outing, especially a person. I mean, they haven't necessarily named names. The person's come forward themselves. I don't think anyone would have. Well, people would have put 2 and 2 together. The guy can't play the game anymore. And they say that there's been massive leaks. So you're kind of going, okay, well, if he can't play it anymore, but there's been leaks, then who's it going to be? I don't know. I don't think Bungie should do that, because ultimately it's only their reputation that's going to be in tatters with this, because he has obviously quite a big community when it comes to playing this game, at least. The amount of time that he spent dedicated to streaming this game, I don't think it's wise for them to be outing this particular person or just going over it. I think they should have just. I think they probably should have just swept it under the carpet and potentially not have said anything about it. Banning the person and just leaving the grey area to the influencer, to the community themselves. I think that probably would have been the best bet, because there's only Bungie that's going to come out of this in a bad light, I think, especially if a community manager then starts to get involved with it as well and starts like quote retweeting it potentially, or just adding a few more flames to the fire, because there's nothing that person can do, or that group of people can do, to try and tame the flames of this. They should just let it kind of die. but they're a massive company and they have a reputation to try and uphold. Like it does send a message to the rest of the Bungie community that say, you are part of this group, please don't spoil this, because at the end of the day, the Bungie community team, I'm talking about the people who work on the game, would have spent so much time pulling together all this information to invite people in behind closed doors, to give them a good experience, to take their feedback on board, to then give back to the developers, to then start to make the game that the community wants to have, as well as what their developers' mindsets are for the game. That's a very privileged position that a lot of these players are, and we've seen it multiple times over the years where people have broken that privilege, they have bastardized that privilege, they have taken that privilege and used it for their own benefit, to sometimes have no action, but ultimately they get expelled from the community, in terms of the community managers just got, we don't want anything to do with you anymore, all this information now is privileged for the other people, not you. So it's such a difficult line to be able to toe, and I don't think there's an easy way, side A or B, that is the right way, especially when they have receipts that they're not talking about. But I feel like if they have receipts, they need to keep that to themselves. Just let the influencer not particularly just go by the wayside, because obviously his entire career at this moment in time, if he's only been streaming Destiny, has took a massive knock. And I do feel sorry for that person if they are obviously innocent. If they're guilty, then that's their fault. They've taken that privileged information and tried to make it work for them in some form or another, because he is never going to come forward and say, yeah, this is all my work, give me all the credit for it, because then he would just be outing himself as the leaker, which again has happened very recently, where a person's used a burner account but then used the wrong account to tweet something, and then basically
responded
just
to it,
just took the mask off. And then kind of said, yeah, all the stuff that I've said previously has, all been fake. I've just tried to build up some traction as being an insider and stuff like that. His career is pretty much over at that point. So again, it's a very difficult situation for both parties to be in, but as the developers, as Bungie themselves, I feel like they just need to distance themselves away from this, because there's only them really that's going to come out of this bad.
It's a difficult one, because one of the things you said then was, I feel sorry if this person is innocent. Because what if this person is innocent? Like, it's not as if Bungie are making claims that only impact on Bungie. They could be negatively impacted on someone that has spent almost 3 years concurrent of their life streaming a game. That's not including all of the time around that making content and all of the time around that planning content and attending events and stuff like that. 20,000 hours streamed is about 800 and something days. Just constant, like end to end. So this is where it gets difficult, because Bungie claims that they have irrefutable evidence. And if they have irrefutable evidence that this person has leaked information, and they've said, you're banned, and this person goes, I am not banned, I kind of feel like by outing this person in that sort of way into the court of opinion, you are influencing a chain of events then. By banning this person, by not going to that person, and doing it through all of that way, even if they did go to that person, it ultimately falls into the court of opinion. So I feel like Bungie they need to go to this person and say, you are being banned. And if this person goes, why? They go, reason A, reason B, reason C. And then if that person decides, do you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go public and rant about it, they go, okay, we will share reason A, B, and C publicly. If you want to go down that way, we can do that. The only reason I can see why that they wouldn't do that is, like, if it damages other people. Like, let's say Kevin Keegan, for those that may be late in, hey Gaggad, how you doing, dude? There's a person called Echo who's a Bungie content creator that's been banned for air quotes leaking information. Bungie has air quotes irrefutable evidence that they have done this, despite Echo claiming that it's exactly not the case. So, like the only reason I can feel for Bungie not sharing this evidence, because if they've got evidence that someone has been leaking information, that's not necessarily source code for a game. It's not exactly intellectual property that Bungie has. That's already been leaked. It's just the processes of leaking that. So I don't understand what Bungie would be holding back. It's not like an in-game hack or a cheat or something that you're giving away that would enable others to it. It's probably someone's got proof. Someone's got WhatsApp message receipts, Discord message receipts, emails, or other things that show that Echo Egan is it. But by sharing that, Bibby, the other Destiny streamer, gets outed as being the person, and that can bring a lot of flack on that person. That's the only thing that I can think that would that for me stops Bungie. Apart from doing that, nope, we're not having this conversation in public. What we've said is final. Which I do get from a corporate standpoint. We don't want to keep trolling out everyone's names through the mud. It is what it is. It's fine. But I don't feel like that companies should have that. Nah, we are beyond reproach. We've said that you're guilty and you're guilty, because that doesn't necessarily wash for me. So
but what about if they have already spoken to the streamer and gone, look, this is everything that we know you've done, but then they've just gone, the streamer's just gone, okay, well, I'm going to call you bluff then, because I know for a fact that you aren't going to come out and you aren't going to say the reason as to why, so they kind of get off with a free ride. Then is the ball back in the Bungie's court then to go, you called our bluff, here we go, pal?
I feel like for me, just going, this is our final communication, is too entitled here. Whereas there is a whole community of people that are being excommunicated here, not just the streamer. And that's where it comes in. Like if they go, you are banned. It's not just banning him. It's sending ripples throughout the entire community, and not always in the right way. So if they've gone to Echo Egan and gone, you have done bad things, A, B, and C. And then he's kept that quiet because he knows, I probably have done a little bit of that, or whatever the reasons it is. I feel that's where Bungie should say, if they don't want to share the information directly, they can put the ball back in his court by saying, we have communicated our irrefutable evidence to the banned party, even if they're not naming Echo Egan directly, because I don't think, from reading this, I assume Bungie haven't named anyone. He has come out and said stuff, but they still haven't named. We're very disappointed to learn this information. This is our final communication on the matter. They're still being quite vague in the fact that they're not naming people. They could say, we have given our account of details and still believe our evidence is irrefutable to the party, or something like that. By putting it that way, they stand by their, we're not talking about anything specifically publicly. You are putting yourself out as the person that's been banned. You are saying you've not done it. So if you want to pull apart the evidence, then you can do that. The only thing there, though, is, once again, is to share that information with Echo Egan. They are probably still going to be out in maybe another creator that's gone, by the way, this guy's leaking all your shit. But the worry, the thing there, though, is our sources, like, how do I put it? Like, in a court of law, having a source that goes, what is your source? Trust me, bro, would not work in a court of law. So, and this is the thing, is if your source is at risk, you will often see that police and whatever will go, okay, well, that person's going to have to get off with this crime. But if it means that I'm dobbing in my source, I'm putting them at risk. It is what it is. Is it better off having a source in place to get you more information going forward? Whatever, you get the idea. I'm not comfortable with them going, this is our final communication on the matter, we are the be all and end all, screw you guys. It's not that. They are doing the right thing. They are trying to protect, they have information on someone, but I feel like having information and not presenting it, or not allowing the other person to present it, it's almost like you're just gonna have to take our word for it, which is authoritarian, which is too powerful for me. So I in this situation, I feel massively for Destiny. They've had, for Bungie, should say, they've had Destiny information leaked by someone that should be trustworthy, and they don't probably want to leak someone else or dob someone else in. But I feel like this has not been played smart. If you had a fucking I can't remember the English word, an attorney sat there next to you, Ace Attorney sat right there, it'd be like, objection. So, like, I feel like they need their attorney going, okay, in the court of public opinion, you still look like you're questionable here. And that's the thing. They probably aren't questionable. They're probably doing good things, trying to protect other people, and these other people are trying to protect the game from future leaks. It just means that the situation as it is in front of everyone else that's playing out looks like it's just do as I say, not as I do. And even if that's done for the right reasons, it's not acceptable. So this is what the whole thing is interesting, because if Echoigan's guilty, we don't know that.
Yeah.
If there is
yeah. Do you reckon then that it's going to be who breaks first? Because I can't see Bungie doing that. I think that they'll let the influencer, they'll let the community member just keep on going on about it and going on about it. And KC might end up slipping up, or he might end up getting to a point where they go, okay, this is enough. This is our final communication, and then it's bang. All of the information that apparently is being banned for. Because again, this comes down to this person has spent their entire streaming career, by the sounds of it, playing Destiny and then getting a massive community and then being that influential that he is part of an elite group of people that have early access to it, that he's treated differently from everybody else in the Destiny community, or they are being treated differently from everybody else in the Destiny community. So it's such a difficult line to be able to try and solve, but I don't know. This isn't going to be the end of it.
No.
We are going to come back to this story in 3 weeks' time. And there's going to be another twist in the tail, because I still feel like if they can't stream this game, then what have they got less to lose?
The thing is, though, is like, if they don't know, then they can't play it back, and then we're all kind of stuck in limbo. They can't go, well, this is what they've claimed, if they haven't been told. If they just go, no, we've got irrefutable evidence, it is what it is. And it's like, well, what is it then? Tell me what the evidence is. It's like, so, yeah, interesting. Yeah, okay, let me jump in the chat. If they have evidence, they should show their hand to prove it. Maybe not all, but just enough to satisfy people looking in from the outside. That's my feeling, David. I have a similar sort of sentiment. David then goes on to say, if not, it sounds like, I've got proof. Show me. No, why should I? To only have nothing. I mean, that's the thing, is they probably do have evidence. They would not come out and say irrefutable evidence. There has to be a reason, though, if they have irrefutable evidence, to not want to share that. Because the way that would usually play out is you would probably, you'd humanize the situation then at that point in time. You'd go from being Activision, Destiny, or whoever, Bungie, coming out and with a message saying, rather than it be the brand, you'd get Steve, lead community guy, going, okay, just on this, and that way you humanize the situation and you take it out of the corporate discourse, and you go to, look, okay, speaking at this on a community level, this has been going on quite a bit now, there's blah blah blah, and I just want to point this out, because that way you can put a humanistic spin on it. It still is corporate, and it still would be evidence if Echoigan ever wanted to take it to a court of law, but it changes the whole narrative and say, look, this person, blah, 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 I can't show you the full things, and by sharing these messages, Echoigan will know who the person that's dobbed them in is, because he'll have his own Discord receipts and his own WhatsApp receipts or whatever, but these are the messages. And then you blank out Steve too. No, Jonathan was the person that dobbed in Echoigan. So you blur him out, whatever. If Echoigan names Jonathan as the person that's named him, then you know he's a shithouse, because this person's clearly trying to look after the security of the game. You got evidence of you leaking shit, and then you're then going back through your message and going, I found this message. It was actually talking about blah, blah, blah. So there is risk of putting your sources at risk, but I kind of feel like you need it. You can't claim irrefutable evidence if you don't give people a chance to refute the evidence. It's not irrefutable. It's claimed irrefutable, and that's a completely different thing. I also have irrefutable winning lottery numbers for tonight, but I'm not telling you until after they've been shown on TV. All right, great, nice one. Yeah, that's proper legit. I believe you there, Graham. Yeah, cause you said so. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's my instinct here, working in the industry, is to side with Destiny. I don't feel like they would kick a creator from their inner circle without reason. You don't do that. The fact that Destiny has inner circles is advancements from video games industry. The fact that they get creators to come in, the fact that they get creators early access to code, the fact that they get community leaders involved in early decision making and stuff, that is beautiful. That is beautiful from the video games industry. This whole thing makes that whole process in danger. It puts it all in danger because upper bodies are going, you do realise that we're looking at potential lawsuits from this. Share prices have come down. Community sentiment is quite negative. All because you said we should give some people access to a game early. Next time, we're not going to bother putting on this event. We're not going to pay for anyone to come in. We're not going to create branches of code that we can pass out to other people. All of that, get the fuck. But there will have been 12 events before this, 2 years of events, 3 years of events, whatever it is, that will have been successful, that people would have got content, that people don't even realize that the reason that they've seen all this stuff, the new update for Destiny, the new patch, the new DLC, the new weapon or whatever, you've seen that information because your content creators have made videos for it that have come out alongside the launch. And the only reason it comes out alongside the launch is because they got access to it 2 weeks before, because they were trusted and all that stuff. All this becomes weakened and unpinned. So I believe at first glance, rightly or wrongly, I don't know whether it's true or not, but it's my assumption. My assumption is that Destiny probably are right. They wouldn't make a decision like that by turning their back on someone that they've actively encouraged to be part of their circle without it. But I don't feel like I can accept anyone, even though I do probably agree with them, going, trust me, it's irrefutable, but I'm not going to let you refute it. It just seems a bit weird. That's my point.
We've seen this with Conor Benn very recently when he was meant to be fighting Chris Eubank Jr. and the fight got called off because he failed a drugs test. Apparently now he's got a 248-page document as to how he's innocent and everything else that's gone against him and all the lab results and stuff like that. And everyone's like, okay, well, release it then. Show us, prove us you're innocent. He's like, nah, I've got to keep hold of it. I can't show it yet. I can't show it. You'll see one day. It's 248 pages and it clears my name, but I can't show you yet. And you're just like, is that true then? Because if you really wanted to clear your name and get your boxing license back that badly, you'd probably release some of the pages that prove that all the lab results and everything was contaminated, but you're not. You're sitting on them. So everyone's just going to think that you are a cheat, that you are a liar, and that you don't deserve your boxing license back. And I feel like it's a very similar situation with this. But as a fellow content creator, I'm not, and someone who works in the industry, like you say, if they have that much information, they wouldn't just kick someone for no reason. So I'm going to sit on the fence, but I'm kind of leaning towards Bungie with this one.
Yeah, same. I mean, there's all sorts of ways this could crumble. Why would someone that has invested 20,000 hours, over 800 days constant playtime, including sleep time, that's probably about 1,200 days, which is 4 to 5 years, depending on how many hours a day they stream it for, or maybe even more. 4 to 5 years of their life. Someone that's invested that much time, got themselves into an inner circle. Why would they leak this information? But the same thing happened with that dude the other week that we covered, that Bibby's already mentioned, that was leaking Ubisoft news, who responded on the wrong account. He just got hooked on the buzz of being the first there, even though he wasn't making money off it. It was just one of those things. So, yeah, why would someone do that? Why? Because people are weird, weak creatures, and this sort of stuff can happen. So, yeah, my assumption, and it could entirely be wrong, and I absolutely would welcome someone proving it be wrong, as long as it was irrefutable proof, that this probably is the case, and Destiny have probably acted right. But until I see that, I'm not going to take that for gospel. This is my assumption, ready to be proved wrong, should anyone have the ability to do so. Either way, I'm glad that Sash went with Ecuador than Equigan. It's easier to sing egg we gun. No, it's same, exactly. Apparently, he ate too many eggs and it took him over the limit for the drug test.
Yeah, apparently that was the case. But anyone with half a brain cell can go, that is absolutely horseshit, mate.
Do you know what that is? That's the kind of cover story you get when you employ West 077 promotional relations to take care of your PR. Yeah, no. West's public relations stuff, don't do it. Too many eggs. That works for West, for no one else. For no one else will that work. Okay, next story. Tom Ivan at VGC says Ubisoft will show off the future of the Division franchise on Thursday, including the Division 2, the Division Heartland, and the Division Resurgence. And look, that we mentioned the Division, and who pops up? Ted Knott in chat. It's like he heard it. Ubisoft will show off, good timing, exactly. Ubisoft will show off what's in store for the Division series during a franchise showcase this week. Quotes. Clear your calendar for April the 20th. That's tomorrow, by the way. That's Thursday, just in case you listen to this on demand and you don't know when that is. Because we're about to take you on a journey through the past, present, and future of the Division franchise, the publisher tweeted on Tuesday. In addition to revealing the Division 2's 5-year roadmap and the game's new Descent mode, the presentation will include a Division Resurgence project update and a gameplay preview of the Division Heartland. Viewable on Ubisoft's Twitch and YouTube channels, Thursday's presentation will begin at 7 p.m. GMT. Announced last July, the Division's Resurgence is billed as the first high-end AAA mobile looter-shooter experience for Android and iOS devices. The free-to-play open-world game features a PvE campaign that is also playable solo or in co-op. Okay, we'll stop there. That's fine. I'm just going to slight tangent before we jump back into this.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to Kind of Funny yesterday, and they reminded me that it was actually a story that I think Tito shared in the Discord. Someone left Xbox and went to Netflix games, and I was reminded that you could download Netflix games on the mobile app. So if you got the Netflix app, there's games in there, you can download them. Did not know that fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge was on the Netflix mobile app. Guess what I've got installed on my phone, ready for New York, baby.
Let's go.
So just with that mentioning mobile, that was the last thing I did last night when I was laying in bed last night. I was like, oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about that. So I went and looked, and there was like the Stranger Things games, but yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge on my phone.
Yeah, let's go.
Nice.
That's meant.
But yes, Ubisoft will show off the future of the Division franchise on Thursday, including the Division 2, the Division Heartland, and the new mobile game, AAA mobile game, Division Resurgence. Thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a million times on this podcast and on various other streams. I love the Division. I think it's a great franchise. I feel like there probably was let down a little bit with the second one. The first one was an all-timer. Like, if we're talking about, I'm going to put it in the MMO category. If we're talking about games of that ilk, it's an all-timer in my opinion. I played a lot. I played Heartland on the mobile using my Razer Keisha controller, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't play hours upon hours and hours. I probably played 4 hours of it. That's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it's enough to go, okay, it's a beta test. I'm happy with the direction that this is going. I could definitely get behind this as a mobile game. It's got controller support, so I don't have to use touchscreen controls. I'm all in. This is fantastic. I want to see more. It wasn't called Heartland, was it? Was it called Resurgence? I can't remember. Yeah, was it Heartland that's going to be the console free-to-play version? I think.
I don't know.
Either way, if there's 2 Division games coming, I'm really looking forward to the one that's coming out on mobile again because I can use my Keisha controller. I'm super looking forward to this free-to-play version. If it mimics what we've seen in the mobile version, I don't want it to be pay to win. I don't want it to be pay for progression. I don't mind dropping 30 quid on 30, 40, 50 quid on a new Division game, so long as it doesn't hinder my progress having to put more money in there. Fair enough, I will spend another £20 on expansion packs as and when it needs to, but I don't want it to, okay, you've reached the end of this chapter, you need to spend 10 quid to get to the next one. I hate that stuff. If it's a free-to-play game, I'm going to expect that stuff. I just don't want it. I'd rather drop the money there and then to be able to just play the entire thing at my own pace, and then when more DLC comes, I'll pay for it as and when it comes. I think that's where the murky ground has happened over the last 5 years, where expectation versus reality are two completely different things, and whether or not that's our fault for getting too hyped about it, or they've just been blatant lies in the marketing promotion for these games. Either way, I'm excited for more Division, and I can see in the chat that Tito is probably more excited about this prospect of more Division, but there needs to be a middle ground. There needs to be a line in the sand where we go, this is acceptable, this isn't, this is what you're getting, we're happy with this, we're not happy with this.
Yeah, exactly. In the chats, let me catch up a little bit. There's a bit that's further up I've missed. My expectations are low. Is Tito's late in because assholes are expecting to do the job that they're paying for? What's that all about? Exactly, I know, right? Heartland has me interested and worried. It's Ubisoft and free to play. And it was the creative director of Halo that jumped over to Netflix. Yeah. I'm interested in Descent mode. Resurgence was okay, and Reza Kishi. Bibby is correct in terms of the game modes, Heartland being console and so on. Bibby, never going to happen, says Tito, in response to the comments about free-to-play and so on. And then says it's going to try to get into your wallet at every opportunity. It is, because of two things. Mobile, and mobile isn't horrendous, by the way. Mobile isn't just going to rinse you. However, a lot of developers still don't really understand that prospect and think, oh, you can just milk people on mobile. And then that mixed with free-to-play and developers that still don't really understand it will just try and rinse you at every opportunity. The best mobile games don't do that. Even the most profitable mobile games don't do that. But a lot of profitable mobile games do. And a lot of developers go, well, we don't need to be the best as long as we're just making shitloads of cash. So fuck yeah. And Ubisoft have already proven that even with their biggest games and even on PC and console, they will charge you just for the ability to not have to grind through pointless grinding, which is milking it, which is the same sort of thing. So having that with a free-to-play, we don't have any profit to begin with angle means that stuff's probably going to come in. But is it time for the Division to be good? Because
did you play any of the other ones?
No, and this is the thing. Like the first Division, I didn't, but only because I was late to the party with it, and most of the people that I would play it with had already had shitloads of fun in it and left it. So when it came to the Division 2, I knew I was going to be late to the party, but only by a couple of weeks. I was like, okay, I can't remember. I was playing something, or I was doing something, or I was away, or whatever, and I thought I'll get it in a couple of weeks' time. But that 2 weeks was long enough for people to go, "Fuck is this?
Yeah, this
is not the Division. This is something that they've done. What have they done to our Division?" kind of thing here. So when I say that, is it time for the Division to be good? I don't mean like it's never been good. I mean like the reason we are talking about the Division, the reason we're talking about a stream where we'll talk about the future of the Division franchise, which includes the Division 2, the Division Heartland, the Division Resurgence, multiple games at multiple times for multiple different devices, was all based on the success of that first game. It was, and I'm talking this paraphrasing or quoting other people because I haven't played it myself, it was incredible. It was great. And Ubisoft have Ubisofted it since then. Is it not just time for us to just get to a point where we can have a great Division game that has all of the joys and beauty that comes with the Division without all of the bloat and the grind and the unnecessary cash grabs that Ubisoft likes to throw on top of that? Stupid open worldy stuff for the sake of it, purchases for the sake of it, and all that sort of stuff. And hopefully, I'm saying, isn't it time? That's a question that we're all going to go, yes, it is time. It's always been time. It's kind of a rhetorical question, because that leads into, hopefully we are at a point where Ubisoft have killed 20 projects or whatever it was over the last 12 to 18, 24 months. You want to get down? I'll put you down in a sec. Not like that. Calm down, chat. Settle down.
Jesus.
Settle down. Yeah, hopefully they can 20 projects, because they 100% have been guilty of, fuck it, let's just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, because some of our bigger stuff will just land anyway. But then all of their bigger stuff since Assassin's Creed Valhalla has been garbage. If we're going to be honest, Ubisoft has not had a great release window. They don't know how to do influencer content anymore. They don't know which influencers are great for their brands. They just throw money at big influencers, which is not a bad thing, but it's not necessarily... You will get a flash in a pan by throwing money at big influencers that are not going to play your games. And then also, not having games that people are not going to want to play means that influencers are not going to play your games. So they've just had a shit period of crap content, crap games. And hopefully now, this year 5 roadmap, my gut reaction is 5 years into a game that nobody really wants to play because the Division 2 is tarred, it's tarnished, it's negative. People aren't bothered. Hopefully the year 5 roadmap, though, gives me good signs in terms of I have a look at it. I see what the new Descent mode is. Tito, can you summarize the Descent mode? Do you know what the new Descent mode is, babe?
No.
Interesting. Tito, if you know what the Descent mode is, can you give us a quick summary of what it is? But yeah, hopefully the year 5 roadmap is great because I feel like the Division as a brand, for it to continue and to continue with a brand that could have fucking the future of Division franchise content around it, it needs to have some signs of life. And hopefully that year 5 roadmap is, okay, this is what you want. This is what you want. And then 2 years later, we get the Division 3. That would be nice. That would be nice. They were revamping weapon specialization. Should be front and center, but no one uses it. It's sad. I have a 50 cal sniper rifle where I can only have 6 rounds. I have to collect outside of normal ammo refills, but it does no damage. It should be OP. I don't think they've released info on Descent mode yet. I think this is the first reveal tomorrow. Ah, okay. Well, hopefully Descent is decent. Yeah.
Blimey.
Okay, do you want to get down the mooch? Yeah, hopefully the Descent mode is decent. My guess is it'll be procedurally generated, set in the sewers. They did a mode called Underground in Division 1. Yeah, whatever it is, hopefully it's decent. I mean, a year 5 roadmap for a game that's had 4 mediocre years doesn't fill anyone with confidence. And I'm talking like general marketing sort of stuff. If a game is shit, it's shit. Even if it's great, it's shit. And that's the... what's it called? Like mind share. That's it. People will always know that game that they played that was broken is always broken, even though it's fixed. No, I played it. It was broken. It was crap. Yeah, I know, but there's been lots of updates. Yeah, I know it was fixed and broken. It's crap. It took a massive Star Wars Celebration update for people to realize that Star Wars Battlefront 2 was actually a decent game. Yeah. And that was pretty much an entire release. So the Division 2 will always be that game for a lot of people. So if this is great, then hopefully that'll satisfy the Division players. And then after that, hopefully that then extends out to new Division players. So yeah, make sure you check that out. 7 p.m. GMT tomorrow night, twitch.tv/Ubisoft or youtube.com/Ubisoft. We won't be doing any watch-alongs for that, but we will recap you on Friday. So... yeah, nice. Next up, though, Ads, how you doing? Welcome in.
Hey.
Next up, we're going to talk about Monster Hunter getting its own Pokemon Go game. This is written by Joshua Duckworth at Game Rant. It says Monster Hunter is getting its own Pokemon Go game. Pokemon Go developer Niantic and Japanese giant Capcom partner up for a new mobile AR title based on the popular Monster Hunter franchise. So Niantic and Capcom announced a new mobile AR game called Monster Hunter Now, which aims to provide a here and now hunting experience based on the popular franchise. Beta registration begins on April the 18th, which was yesterday, with select participants able to partake in a closed beta beginning on April the 25th. The game will then launch in September 2023 on the App Store and Google Play, with the title being distributed by Pokemon Go developer Niantic and licensed by the Japanese giant Capcom. The reason I was laughing then is because I don't know if it was me or if it was Jordan or someone in the past spoke about Monster Hunter and there was a slip and we called it Munter Hunter, to which Tito just mentioned in the chat, which made me chuckle, and then I chuckled at the fact that Tito'd it and called it Minter Hunter. Anyway, there's a lot to unpack here, but 2 companies described the game as a mix of communication and action and a game in which anyone can participate. I'm going to stop there. We don't really need to go further into that. Pokemon is about catching monsters in the wild and stick them in your pocket. Pocket monsters. This is Pokemon, but with bigger monsters. Can you see this working? And can you see Monster Hunter, Minter Hunter, whatever you want to call it, having the same sort of impact? I mean, that's probably a stupid question. Is it going to have the same impact as Pokemon Go? Nothing will ever have the same impact as Pokemon Go. But can you see it being successful in its own right? Thoughts, babe?
I think it'll be successful, but I think when Pokemon Go first came out, I think that's probably top 5 gaming moments ever. And I think that's probably universal across the board. That's anyone who's ever played video games or has only interest in small amounts of mobile games, especially for people our age. Like, we obviously grew up with Pokemon, and the fact that we could then go out and catch Pokemon with our phones and then build a Pokedex, go to these non-existent gyms, but they'll just be monuments or a location within a park, like a water fountain or something, and then you'd have 6 or 7 people around you all trying to take down whatever Pokemon was the gym leader at the time. Like, all of that stuff, that was top 5 moments in video games across the board. That is magic in a bottle that is very rarely done. I don't think that, regardless of how big Monster Hunter is, I don't think it'll ever recapture that, because they've tried to do it with Jurassic Park. I say quite recently, it's probably 3 years ago now. They've tried to do it, I think, with Harry Potter. They're in the process of doing that.
No, they kill it.
They kill it.
Yeah, it was. I can't. Not Hogwarts Legacy. It was. I can't remember. I had it, and it's exactly the same thing. So for anyone that doesn't know, Niantic is owned by Google. So Niantic has access to all of Google's maps and all the mapping data and so on. And Niantic, and through their community, have basically made shitloads of points of interest, which is partially community inserted and partially Google data. So if there is a cathedral, that's probably going to be a Pokestop in Pokemon Go. The exact same thing would then be, I can't remember what the name of it was in the Harry Potter game, but the exact same point of interest would be a Pokestop or a Potter Stop or whatever the fuck you want to call it in the other game, because they've got all of that information. So Google and Niantic have a very cool little niche in the fact that they've got this data that they can use in multiple different ways.
What did you capture in the Harry Potter thing? It
wasn't so much capturing. It was more like there would be Death Eaters and monsters and stuff that you basically have to go and attack them, kind of thing. I can't quite remember. There probably was stuff that you had to catch. I can't remember. It was a bit shit. It was a bit shit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon is all built about collecting. Whereas Harry Potter isn't about collecting. That's just side stuff. Whereas that's the main thing about Pokemon, is you go out to do it. Whereas Harry Potter, it's like, oh, this thing's in the way of me getting to my wizard missions. So it didn't catch on. It lasted a couple of years and then was closed maybe 12 months ago, give or take. One of my friends lives in a point of interest, an old listed house. She never runs out of balls. Read that how you will. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's cool. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I think I'm close enough to a Pokestop that I might be able to spin it, but it didn't used to be there. I think it was like a late edition kind of thing, but only really added after I gave up. So great, fun times. Yeah. But yeah, if Harry Potter, which Hogwarts Legacy has proved that there is a shitload of fandom out there that are willing to spend on Hogwarts games, controversy aside or not, there is a huge actionable fan base, and we've seen that with Hogwarts, not Hogwarts Legacy. Plus, there's a new HBO TV series coming soon. Plus, there is a theme park in Leavesden, North London. Plus, there is a theme park in Florida as well. Probably more as well. If people can be actioned to travel the world to go to do pottery stuff, then playing video games should be easy enough. But it wasn't. It closed down. It was making money, but it wasn't making Pokemon Go levels of money. So Niantic basically squashed it and moved on to doing different things, Jurassic Park and so on. So Monster Hunter getting its own Pokemon Go game is good because you are hunting monsters. It's pretty much Pokemon Go, but with a graphical skin update. But yeah, I mean, it could be successful. I don't know how big Monster Hunter is, but it's no Pokemon. It's
What's the demographic for a Monster Hunter game? I think it's probably people our age again, but whether or not they have the nostalgia, I know someone like Spike is very enthusiastic about Monster Hunter. I imagine Jordan is too. But are them two people? They're going to be the kind of people that are going to go out and capture monsters. I don't know. Like I don't really know the target audience for this one. Obviously, it's people who play Monster Hunter, but it doesn't have that nostalgia that fueled Pokemon Go when it first came out. And I'm guilty. I put it down for about 2 years. Pokemon Go. I had no interest in it, but now my boy's starting to get a little bit older. He wants to go to the park. He likes going on the swings and stuff like that. I now have a point of being able to leave the house with him in his trike, do a lot of walking and stuff, and now have something to be able to do along the way. I need something in my head to be the goal towards the end of something. Like I can't just the same reason I will never go out and run on the street. I mean, if I'm running, I have to be playing football. If I'm exercising, I want to be walking around the park with my son as he's fucking about on merry-go-rounds or whatever whilst I'm catching Pokemon and doing whatever. Like I need to have something to keep me going in that respect. Which is obviously why I put it down so long, because obviously my son's now 16 months old.
Bibby, every gift you've sent me has come from a stop at a pub. Don't lie, says Tito.
Well, it's funny you should say that actually, because a lot of the pubs around me that have closed down are still registered as a pub
in the game.
Yeah, it's weird. So like a lot of the pubs have closed down and now turned into flats or something like that, but they're still registered as a pub with the old branding and stuff on.
Yeah, I think that's just like there are some stops that do get changed, but generally they just stay. Once it's a stop, it's a stop. So even though the world changes, it kind of stays the same. So there's a few bits like that. So you always find pubs, post offices, churches, cathedrals, those kind of things are always like there. But pubs in particular, over the last 10 years, fucking shitloads of them have disappeared. So they're the ones that are most likely to have gone. And post offices, because, Tories and that stuff, whatever. But yeah, a little bit of information. So it was released in 2019, the Harry Potter one, which was called Wizards Unite, and it was killed on January 31st, 2022. So last January, not the one gone, the one before. So it lasted for a couple of years, and then it was gone. So it was all right, not all right. Yeah, it was cool. You saw little wizards and stuff flying around in the air and brooms and stuff, where rather than it just being clouds and stuff. But yeah, it was a bit garbage. So hopefully Monster Hunter doesn't have that. Hopefully their Pokemon Go-esque game, what would they call it, Monster Hunter now, hopefully that works. Hopefully there's a community for that. I mean,
would they put that much money into it if they didn't feel like it was there, taking away the Jurassic Park and the Harry Potter stuff? You'd think the Harry Potter one would probably work, but it hasn't. It failed. Pokemon Go seems to be stronger than ever. Like there's still 100. They had a recent meeting down south at the XL at weekend. So yeah, it must still Pokego Fest is still massive. People, hundreds of thousands of tickets to get sold for that. Whether or not you're there or not, you can buy the ticket on your phone to still get the event rewards and stuff. So still making money hand over fist, put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, Pokemon Go did something no other game will ever do in terms of, like, we talk about that Pokemon Go Summer, and you mentioned it obviously just a little bit ago. Monster Hunter is not going to do that. Hopefully, though, for Monster Hunter, I know the game is huge in Asia in particular. Hopefully, even just there's enough to have a community and it works. The difference with Monster Hunter and Pokemon is I feel Pokemon is much more mainstream. A lot more people play it, but even still, people that I know that are massive Pokemon fans. So KS Riot Zero drops in the chat fairly often. He is a huge Pokemon dude, but lives not on the edge of Manchester city centre like I do. He lives in the middle of nowhere and has one Pokestop, or did. So the game was kind of unplayable for him because there was one Pokestop a million miles away, no gyms, but Pokemon spawning is done on like a grid sort of reference in the game. They can't spawn anywhere. There will be places where nothing ever spawns, and that was pretty much his entire village. And it was like that for years, and could still be like that. So you need the game to work, and you often need to be in urbanized areas for that to work. And if Pokemon can't get that right, then you've got to feel like it's going to be even more harder for Monster Hunter. But Pokemon also has the benefit of, I bet he wasn't the only person in that village playing Pokemon Go. can you say the same thing for him playing Monster Hunter now? I mean, there probably will be other people in it, but if it's a small village, there's a very good chance that you are the only person around. So anything that needs multiple people, any raids that need 5, 6, 7, 8 people to get in, that's not going to happen. So, there's a lot of issues that the Monster Hunter team will have to look at from a different angle than the Pokemon team, because there will just generally, by proxy, be more players per square inch playing Pokemon Go than there will be Monster Hunter now. So I imagine there's probably... The difficulty is trying to get people to feel communal play together, but not really need people to be communal play together. So... I imagine more distance trading, more distance raiding and battling and stuff like that will be in Monster Hunter versus Pokemon Go. It kind of needs it in my mind. It was called Wizards Unite and shut down on January 31st, 2022. Yeah. I just found that one as well, so GG's. I don't think it had good advertisement either. I've never heard of Harry Potter Go. So yeah, that was it. Wizards Unite. There's a Pikmin Go by Nintendo, probably Niantic 2. Probably. I've done that one. They changed Area 51 quick enough in Pokemon Go. Did they? Did they have Area 51? Oh no, and it's gone. They probably had the new Pokemon in Pokemon Go soon. The Scarlet Violent Pokemon? God damn. I mean, they do add more and more. There's a lot of stuff in it now that I don't care about. That's part of the reason why I don't play it. So, like... The first gen, nice. Second gen, third gen, meh. By the time we get to fourth gen, I'm like, it's mainly legendaries. If your legendaries are shit, I don't give a shit about the crap to lead up to the big crap at the end. So by the time I get to fourth gen, not that bothered. So I kind of gave up then. But yeah, if they start adding more gens and stuff, I've already given up. I've got my shiny Charizard. I've got my armored Mewtwo. That's fine. Nice.
You good with that?
Nice. Okay, moving ahead. Sticking with Nintendo. Nintendo wins a legal battle against website operator hosting pirated games. Tom Ivan at VGC says D-Storage ordered to pay the Switch maker over $480,000 in compensation. Nintendo has won a piracy legal battle with share hosting website operator D-Storage. In a statement via gi.biz, the platform holder said the Paris Court of Appeals has ruled that D-Storage was responsible for failing to remove or block access to pirated copies of Nintendo games distributed via its website. I don't know how you say that website, .com, backing up a previous verdict by the Paris Judicial Courts in May 2021. The Court of Appeals has ordered D-Storage to pay $484,000 to Nintendo in compensation, plus €27,000 to cover legal expenses. The reason I say euros there is because it was actually ordered to pay €442,750, but they just converted it to dollars. Anyway, D-Storage could choose to appeal the decision. Quote, Nintendo is pleased with the decision of the Paris Court of Appeals, as it again sends a clear message that in refusing to remove or withdraw access to unauthorized copies of video games, despite prior notification, share hosting services such as D-Storage, are liable under French law and must remove or block. My pronunciation is on point today. I fucking nailing it.
Spot on.
Yeah. Are liable under French law and must remove or block access to such content and may be liable to pay compensation to those rights holders whose intellectual property rights have been infringed, the platform holder said. Quote, the Court of Findings liability against D-Storage is significant, not only for Nintendo, but also for the entire games industry. It will prevent share hosters like OneViewer from claiming that a prior decision from a court will be needed before pirated content has to be taken down. And additionally, the court decision confirms what rights holders have to give notice of when claiming that notified content infringes copyright or trademark rights. Thoughts, Pip? Nintendo wins legal battle.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you are going to be pirating games and hosting them on your server and then making over $300,000, you're probably likely to have your front door kicked in and taken to prison. Especially if you're hosting them on your website and getting people to pay for them. The thing is, was it 15 million that they ended up at, that he now has to pay over God knows how long? He will never pay that back, but will have 30% of his wages taken from him every single month for the rest of his life. Is that harsh? Is that extremely harsh? 30% of your wages, no matter how much you end up earning for the rest of your life, that getting taken out? Or has he brought this on himself? I think that's the bigger conversation here.
I mean, it's kind of hard to answer it off the cuff because my instant reaction is 30% off anyone's wages is horrendous in terms of that's pretty much capital punishment. You are impacted on. Like, if you imagine if you went and got a job, one fichier is one file in English. Oh, there you go. There you go. David knows. Nice to that translation stuff. Nice. So if you're taking away 30% of someone's wages, you are putting them in a difficult situation and more likely to push them into negative behaviors. So that is quite difficult. Especially if this person has a criminal record. Therefore, if you've got a criminal record, you're not going to get as good a job in theory. So if you're on a lesser paid job and then giving up 30% of your wages, you're probably more likely to be dabbling in crime again. So
yeah,
it's kind of forcing people into negative behaviors in that sort of sense. But there was all sorts of warnings and everything, as it mentioned within that. So don't know. And then you've got the other thing: is that a proper actionable punishment, or is that setting an example? And if that is the case, setting an example is great, but shouldn't an example be an example of normal operations rather than extreme operations? And either way, don't do the illegal shit though, and you won't fucking get this fucking shit. I mean, there is no way that you can convince me that destorage or one file, whatever you want to call it, did this under the pretenses of, we just thought it was fine and legit, and the way that if people were hosting stuff, that was their opportunity. We didn't do it so that they could pirate stuff. We just give them hosting potential. Bollocks. You earned $300,000 off this because you knew that you were doing illegal ROM distribution. So you know it was illegal. You tried to argue it wasn't. You know it was. You were trying to get around intricacies of, no, we were just allowing people to share stuff. It's like me having a sign that says Goon Shop, Goon spelt Gun, and then I have a table where people can come along and I will place a goon on the table, and then people can give me $20,000 for that goon, and people say you're dealing arms. No, I'm not. I've got goons that people just keep taking away and leaving money back. I didn't sell them to them, mate. You think I'm stupid, and that's kind of one of these. Yeah. I mean, basically, that's a gunshot, just in case you didn't quite get that. I'm sure you all got it. I'm sure you got it. But
there's an exchange in items that are taking place.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you can say, "Oh, we don't use it for that," it's like certain situations that works. Like you can sell a bong and weed-related paraphernalia. As you know, you can do whatever you want with that. It's just a bit of plastic. If you put weed in it, that's something different. But selling the weed is a bit different, and that's essentially what this is. Like, you're not you're providing the hosting systems, but you're not a shop that sells you a bong. Obviously, anyone listening to this abroad, by the way, you're probably thinking, what are you on about? You just buy the bong and buy the weed. In the UK, weed's illegal, so that's the context. If you sell a bong, that doesn't actually touch weed at any point in that transaction. If you take it home and stick some weed in it, fine. But in this, you're actually, I'm just providing hosting services. If you stick the weed in it, the weed's still there, mate. The weed is still there. So it doesn't matter if you put it, you're providing a place for it to be stashed. So shut your mouth. So yeah. Soldier Boy is shitting himself right now. Bless. Anyway, okay, we'll put a pin in that one. So the Nintendo wins a legal battle against destorage. Obviously. Destorage knew, and it just is what it is. It's only a matter of time before they appeal and then get shit on again in court.
Stay frosty, yeah.
Spike!
I started playing D&D recently. I couldn't decide to go with the overly enthusiastic fortune teller or the sad and sullen soothsayer. I just decided to go with a happy medium.
I just started playing D&D recently. I couldn't decide to go with the overly enthusiastic fortune teller or the sad and sullen soothsayer. I decided to go with a happy medium. Nice. I appreciate that, Spike. I also appreciate 38 months. God damn. Thanks, Spike. Love you.
Legend.
Do you know what, Spike? I'm going to return that with some great news. If you're after a PS5, that is. LIANG at The Gamer says the days of PS5 scalpers are over. So resale listings for the PS5 have had to drop their prices. So getting hold of a new console can be tough in the beginning. The launch of the PS2 and the Wii have gone down in gaming legend as supply was limited and crowds formed around retail stores to buy one. But the first couple of years of the PS5 was unprecedented since it coincided with a pandemic and resulting lockdowns. Stuck at home and in need of entertainment gaming products surged. Stuck in home and in need of entertainment. Okay, someone's butchered that. Basically, we were all stuck at home and the need of entertainment gaming products surged, and the PS5 being the hot new thing was in demand while supply was limited and further constrained by pandemic-related shortages of components. Scalpers, meanwhile, made themselves popular, read loathed, by exacerbating the problem, snapping up available stock when it came onto the market using bots and the like, and reselling with ridiculous premiums. I mean, so did I. I once bought a PS5 for £499.99, and I sold it for £500. Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Penny profit, mate.
Skadoosh.
Stonks.
Absolutely love it. Love it. But now, as PS5 stonks have been stabilised, it seems scalpers have had their day. Over on the PlayStation subreddit, Redditors have declared the end of the PS5 scalping, with images showing resellers having to cut their prices. It's a far cry from the time when PS5s were going for hundreds above the RRP on seller sites. Taking a look on eBay, the gamer can see multiple listings for PS5s in the $450 to $490 range, with the latter for bundles that include God of War Ragnarok. This depression in prices is perhaps the best proof yet that Sony's claims that stock for its console is stable are true. It really is the case that you can pick up a PS5 much more easily nowadays, whether from an official store, where you'll be covered by more robust warranties and returns policies, or through a resale marketplace. We can stop there. We don't need to go any further, but scalping PS5s is done. Winner, winner. Console dinner. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, it's nice that it's finally started to stabilize, and I hope that they end up losing money, because obviously they ruined a lot of people's Christmases and stuff like that, which is obviously the pandering, and they're trying to play on people's heartstrings. Like, you really want to get that PlayStation for your child, it's going to have to cost you £800. I know it's only 500 in the shops, but I've got one right here for £800. And people were paying it. People was paying it for 18 months, if not 2 years, to try and get this. But now you can walk into any game store, you can buy them on Amazon at any given time. Like, they are losing money on this now. I mean, the same people would have made thousands. They've made thousands. They're probably not bothered that they're going to be losing £100, £200 maybe on each console. Based off of their original prices, I can't imagine that they're going to lose hundreds off of the normal recommended retail price. But yeah, this is fantastic news. I'm glad that this has finally started to balance itself out across the board.
Yeah. Good to see. It's good to see. That's a lot of babies I'm owed to Spike. 38 months. What's that, like 4 and a bit babies we've got now? Sheesh.
You can have me, baby.
Did you hear a clairvoyant with dwarfism has escaped from prison? Police have said they're looking for a small medium at large.
Stinking.
Let's see it. So the days of PS5 scalpers are over. Nice. I mean, it's about time. It's about time. Just a bit shit show that we had component shortages and a pandemic alongside a new piece of hardware hitting the market. But if you want a PS5, go grab one. Love to see it. Love to see it. Nice. Okay, well, that was the last of our stories. If you are late, let me give you a little bit of a recap. So, not only talking about PS5 scalping is gone, but we were talking about Kevin Keegan is gone. I'm going to say Kevin Keegan. I mean, how did we say it? Was Equegan?
Equegan.
Equegan, a Destiny streamer, has been booted from Bungie's inner circle for apparently, leaking information, a breach of trust. Equegan denies that, so we'll keep you up to date with that story if it progresses any further in the public eye. After that, we spoke about Ubisoft will show off the future of the Division franchise tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/Ubisoft. We'll keep you updated with that on Friday morning. Monster Hunter is getting its own Pokemon Go game, so if you like catching monsters on the run, you can do it twice now. You whip out your pocket device, your phone. Nice, yeah, great. I was going to say whip
your
out
cell phone.
Yes, whip out the old flip phone. Nice.
Get your Tamagotchis out, ladies and gentlemen.
Grab yourself a Pikachu and whatever the fucking big dragon things are called in Monster Hunter. So if you want to play some Monster Hunter, go get yourself in that. And Nintendo has won legal battle with D-Storage, who's been ordered to pay $480,000 in compensation for being wrong-uns. That's the news. Hey. I've lost interest in PS5s at this point. I've fully switched over to a PC gamer elitist. Lol. Rathalos. Yeah, there you go. So when we actually spoke about Monster Hunter, Bibby name dropped you, Spike, as like someone that knows the Monster Hunter stuff.
He's got a tattoo. I'm sure he has got a tattoo.
No, he was just showing you the skin. But the tattoo was secondary. Look at this.
Flash the guns.
Wait, it only says Wrath. Where's the... Oh, now I see it. Now it says Rathalos. Okay. Nice penis joke. Anyway, on that bombshell, we are going to disappear. Thank you, everyone that's dropped in and stuck around with the show. We appreciate you being here, especially those that dropped in and stuck past the 2 Sky dropouts before we even started the show. You love to see it. So this isn't the only stream that we'll have today. We'll be back tonight with Chasing Crates with Mates. I do need to confirm with the Code Red boys whether it's going to be Chasing Core Rates with Mates for a bit or whether it's just a standard Chasing Crates with Mates. Because, in theory, last week should have been Core Rates. If you don't know what that means, it's basically when we go Chasing Crates with Mates, it's me, Lotus, and the boys. We go looking for crates in PUBG. But sometimes Code Red or Core play with us. But last week was the Code Red CCS3, so that might have moved to this week, or they may have just cancelled it. It might be next week, so I'll see. Either way, check out our social media and you'll see what time we go live with PUBG, and then there's more scoops throughout the week. Plus, is it a Friday night stream, babe?
It is a Friday night stream. I was going to mention that, actually. Yeah, I'm at a christening on Sunday, so I won't be able to continue with my Resident Evil playthrough. However, 7 p.m. on Friday, we'll be going back into some Resident Evil 4. I think we're on, like, Chapter 10. There's only 16. We're probably not going to get it done on Friday, but if I can find some time over the weekend at some point, then we'll try and get this finished as soon as possible, because Dead Island's out on Friday.
Oof. Rathalos, Giacros and Nargacuga. It sounds like I'm saying Harry Potter Revelio, Wingardium Leviosa, and stuff like that. Should get a 4th monster. Becky the Missus doesn't sound as scary, though. Core, blimey, CCWN. Nice. Sheep, how we diddling? Dropped in on Sheep last night. He was one of the boys that I was flicking across the channels as he was playing some Insurgency Sandstorm. I'm going to find that clip of 12 Ed getting shit up. So feel free to check out Ice Cream Upload's Twitter as we post that in a bit. But before that happens, is there what else you'd like to add, Mr. Bibb?
Yes, there is. Thank you very much, Graham. And the rest of you guys for joining us for today's episode of The Scoop. That's 2 down, 2 to go. So if you want to help shape the remaining 2 shows this week, there is 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. I'm just thinking now, tomorrow is very, very meeting heavy again.
Yeah.
So if it's not done early morning, we're probably not going to get it done in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's very likely there won't be a scoop tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know that I'm in meetings from 1 until the end of the day.
Yeah, same. I think we might have another one in the morning as well with one of our clients. So we will let you know early doors as to what our schedule is tomorrow. I've got a feeling that it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But Friday, we'll carve out some time for that one. In my head now, I don't think we've got that many. But yeah, we'll see how it is. But all you need to know is just give us some URLs, your thoughts and opinions on the news article that you suggested. We will then give you our thoughts and opinions on the very next show at some point, maybe this week. I'm not too sure at this moment in time, but we'll notify you as and when we will be going live. So if you are new around here, please follow us on the audio podcast that you listen to, maybe on Spotify, maybe on Amazon Music. Give us a follow on there. You'll be notified as and when we do go live. But if we do end up going live at some point this week, Graham, what time are we usually going live?
Well, the scoop is usually at 10 a.m. ish. 10 a.m. ish. Probably not tomorrow. I think we'll just say there is no scoop tomorrow unless you hear different. That's probably the best way.
You'll be very lucky if you get one. If it will be, it'll be like 20 minutes. Here's some news. Blah, 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 blah.
Friday, though, there is one meeting booked in on Friday, but we should be fine for Friday. Should be good.
Yeah.
Should be good. Let me catch up then. I said sheep. How's it diddling? So Spike said, let's not talk about diddling sheep. I live in Wales, so subject. God damn. Also, speaking of goddamn, I have some painkillers from PUBG, which is nice. It's a cool little desk thing. It's a little tub of Mentos, but but painkillers went out of date in 2018. Is that okay? God damn. Anyway, so yeah, do feel free to join us and the painkillers for more PUBG tonight, about 6:30, 6:30ish. I'll be live on Twitch. Lotus will be live as well. He's going to be live on Kick, and maybe Droidica and Silencer, if they are going to be core rating with us as well. They will be live on the Code Red GG Twitch. So do feel free to join us. We'll post the tweets out when we've got everything locked in. For now, though, stick around for a raid. We'll find one of our buddies to drop in and say hello, hello to on with nice. Do you know? I was trying to think of something off the fly that sounded like EastEnded-ish for us to wrap up the show. So, yeah. So we'll be back with a scoop later this week, or will we?